Welcome to Ruger Tech Tips. I'm going to show you how to clean your Ruger Precision Rimfire rifle. Before I began, I made sure that I had no ammunition either in the rifle, the magazines, or in my work area. To start with, you just need a couple good basic cleaning tools. I went on Shop Ruger and bought a rifle cleaning kit. Also have some solvent, a couple of cleaning rods, patches, a good pair of safety glasses, and you want a well-lit area and a good clean work surface to work off of. To begin with, I'm going to take a cleaning brush and I'm going to put some solvent on the end of that cleaning brush, spray that down, and I'm going to run that through the bore a couple of times. Ideally, you want to clean from the chamber end first and run that through, rather than cleaning from the muzzle end. And I would run that through, let that soak in there. Once that's had a chance to work, I'm going to add some solvent to a patch, and I'm going to run a patch through my bore. And you're just going to keep repeating this process a few times until your patches come out nice and clean. And just as often as you need to do that, you may find that you need to run the solvent wetted bristle brush through there a few times, depending on how many rounds you fired through the rifle, how dirty it is. And just keep repeating this process until you get your patches come out nice and clean to your satisfaction. Once you've had a chance to do that a number of times, run a dry patch through the bore, just without any solvent whatsoever. And again, you want that to come out nice and clean. Once you're satisfied with how clean the patches are coming out, just one patch, lightly oiled, just a small amount of oil, don't go crazy on that, and run that through. Now, before you put the rifle into use, I would highly recommend that you run a dry patch both in the chamber and in the bore to make sure that's nice and dry before you start shooting the rifle. Other parts of the rifle that you're going to need to clean out, probably the bolt face is going to be fairly dirty. You want to get some solvent on a rag and just run that across your bolt face. You may need a small toothbrush, something like that, just to, if it's really fouled up, clean that out in good shape. And then just go in with a slight amount of oil, very minimal amount, on your surfaces. Have an oily rag, wipe that down, all your contact surfaces. A little drop of oil where your camming position is back here on the bolt, so that rotates freely. Again, do not over oil, very light amount of oil. Regarding the trigger group, okay, a lot of components in a very small space. You want to get in there probably with a spray cleaner, spray that out, let that dry out, maybe hit it with some compressed air and get that nice and clean out. You want to use 2 different lubricants inside your trigger group. Oil is great for pivot points, your small pivot locations. If just a drop of oil in those locations, let that work in there. Oil is good for getting on small, tight, confined spaces. But for certain areas, you're going to want to put in a grease. Slick 2000 or a synthetic grease similar to that. There's a lot of good greases out there right now. You want to get that on your sear contact surfaces behind here. There's a little window in here where you can see where the sear makes contact right in there. Get a little bit of grease between those 2 flat metal surfaces. Grease is very good when you have 2 flat metal surfaces riding against each other. You want to work that in there. And that's really as far as you need to go. I would not recommend disassembling this, taking this apart. And that's really as far as you need to go as far as cleaning those trigger groups, those components. I would recommend that you get an oily rag and just wipe down all your exterior surfaces to make sure those are well protected. Basically the entire rifle, I would give that a good wipe down end to end. Same with your stock. If you find that there's a lot of debris down the stock, I would hit this with some solvent, wipe it down, and then finally wipe the entire surfaces with an oily rag just to protect it. Once you've completed all your cleaning steps, then if you go on to our tech tips, you can watch a video on how to reassemble your Ruger Precision Rimfire rifle. Thanks for watching this Ruger Tech Tip.